Hola a todos. You might get a question like this. ¿Qué hiciste durante las vacaciones el año pasado in your speaking exam? So I'll show you how to answer it in this video using high-level vocabulary and complex structures. I'll also go through how to pronounce some of the trickier words in this answer I've written here to help you with the read aloud task in the speaking exam. Vamos. So first, let's read through this answer. El año pasado, mi familia y yo fuimos a Grecia y nos quedamos en un hotel de 5 estrellas con vistas al mar. Aunque el clima no era perfecto, el primer día decidimos ir de excursión por la montaña y para ser honesto, lo pasamos fenomenal. Let's work on actually the first half of that, just what I've read so far. So, last year, we're using words in the question, so I'm just going to write in there using question words, because in the question it said at the end, el año pasado, saying last year, so we can use the words in the question to help us. El año pasado, mi familia y yo, saying more than one person. It's not just I, it's me and my family. It's more interesting if there's more people doing something. So fuimos is that preterite tense. We went is that regular verb from ir. To Greece, don't just say España, it's very boring. Everyone is going to say Spain and España. Use other countries. So for example, we've got maybe Los Estados Unidos, and that's a country where we need to have a los, the article in there. The United States. We've got countries like Italia, Escocia. What is that? That's going to be Escocia is Scotland. That's the name of it. Y nos quedamos en un hotel de 5 estrellas con vistas al mar. Nos quedamos, again, reflexive verb in the past. We stayed in from the verb quedarse, which is reflexive. Nos quedamos en un hotel. I've added extra information. I've said de 5 estrellas. Instead of just a hotel full stop, it's a hotel of 5 stars, a 5-star hotel, with views to the sea, vistas al mar, to the ocean or the sea. Vistas being views. Although the climate is masculine, it's el clima, even though it ends in a, was not perfect. The first day we decided to go on sort of some sort of holiday or trip, or like some sort of day trip, excursión, like the word excursion in English, in the morning. And to be honest, we had lo pasamos, it's like we had a great time, lo pasamos fenomenal. The infinitive there would be pasarlo bien, or pasarlo bomba, or pasarlo fenomenal. It's an idiom, it's an idiomatic phrase. It just means to have a good time. You might have seen something like lo pase bomba, I had a blast, I had a good time. In that preterite tense is what we're using here. So really good vocabulary. We've got the imperfect tense, we've got the preterite tense, and we've got the, we haven't got the present tense just quite yet so far, because we're talking about our past holidays, so we're going to use some of the past tenses. Okay, let's move on. The second day, now we're seeing what happened sort of the first day, the second day now. El segundo día, hicimos senderismo y comimos la comida regional que era exquisita. Lo que más me gustó fue la tranquilidad del lugar y por eso creo que es importante relajarse de vez en cuando. No obstante, a mis padres no les gustaron las calles concurridas. Si tuviera la oportunidad, volvería a viajar allí sin pensarlo 2 veces, aunque me gustaría quedarme más tiempo la próxima vez. And last but not least, en el futuro tengo la intención de viajar por Sudamérica en mi año sabático. Muy bien. So, the second day we did hiking, is that what senderismo? A very good sort of activity you can mention. Hiking, senderismo. And we ate regional food, so we're using the preterite tense hicimos from the verb hacer and comimos from comer. We ate regional food that was exquisite. We're using the imperfect tense because the food was exquisite for more than a small period of time. It's describing the sort of state of the food is always exquisite. Lo que más me gusta, so what I liked the most. It's a really good sentence starter. What I like, for example, lo que más me gusta, or in the past, lo que más me gustó, a very good sentence starter, was the tranquility, the calmness of the place. And therefore, por eso I'm saying therefore, I believe that it is important to relax from time to time, de vez en cuando. This word vez means time, different to tiempo. Vez is like an instant, like one time you did something. Tiempo is a duration of time, how long maybe you did something for, is that time in that sense. So tiempo and vez both mean time. In this case, we're going to say sort of from time to time, or sometimes, a veces, or muchas veces, or in this case, de vez en cuando, from time to time. No obstante, however, just like sin embargo, it just means however. My parents, we're saying literally like to my parents, we have to say a mis if we're going to describe what someone else likes. We say a mí or a mis, or so for example, to my parents, a mis padres no les gustaron, they did not like the busy streets, las calles concurridas. pretty sort of good piece of vocabulary there. How often do you get to use the word calles in one of your sort of answers? It just means streets, and concurridas is the word busy. If I had the if I had the opportunity, this is now the subjunctive, the imperfect subjunctive. If I had the opportunity, si tuviera, still from that verb tener. We're not saying si tengo, it wouldn't make sense. We have to say the imperfect subjunctive. Like if I were to have, or if I had the opportunity, I would return. This is now the conditional, volvería a viajar, so volver plus your ending ia. I would return to work, not work in this case, so viajar is travel. I would return to travel there. Volver is saying like return again. So I would basically travel there again without thinking about it 2 times. Sin pensar dos veces, without even thinking about it, so giving it a moment's thought, like we say in English. Although I like, or I would like to stay more time next time. Literally, so tiempo, as we said, tiempo en vez. I would like to stay there more time the next time I go, la próxima vez, the next opportunity or the next time. Quedarme, as we saw earlier with quedamos, is that same reflexive verb. We can have the verb quedarme or alojarme. Both mean to stay in terms of accommodation. Alojarme and quedarme, or I guess alojarse or quedarse, reflexive verbs ending in se. Is that there? And last but not least, so in the future, I have the intention. We're using tengo in the present tense, but we're using it to refer to the future. This is perfectly fine. We don't have to conjugate in the future. We can just say, we can use sort of, the present tense to refer to the future. So I have the intention of traveling through South America in my gap year. Sudamérica, South America. I could say like quiero viajar. Again, we're referring to the future without actually conjugating and saying viajaré, I will travel. We're saying I have the intention of traveling through South America in my gap year. Perfect. That is the entire answer there. If you've got any questions about the complexity or the vocabulary, let me know in the comments. It's not overly difficult. It's quite long. In your speaking exam, you wouldn't have to give such a long answer. You can maybe take bits of this that you want to use, but it's got a big, or sort of a great variety of vocabulary, of structures, sentence starters really, and different tenses, which is what makes this a really good answer. Vale, eso es todo para este video. Please hit subscribe if you find my GCSE Spanish videos useful. I've been working super hard to put out lots of GCSE content for you guys on this channel. So let me know where you're watching from, who you are in the comments below if you find my videos useful. If you want to be taught by me or anyone else in my team, please head to astarlanguages.com/tutoring for one-to-one tuition lessons. Vale, adios!